Okay guys, I thought that I'd check in and just give you a little update. As a lot of you would have seen on Instagram, Minnie May got rushed into hospital early hours of this morning because she was finding it hard to breathe. So she's now on oxygen and she's on a feeding drip. Oh, I know. She won't settle. She won't settle in a bed. So hard to see kids, especially a new baby. I feel so sorry for them, they're so little. They shouldn't be getting poorly, should they? So she's not been feeding very well for like the last 24 hours and her breathing's not very good. So basically last night she had a bottle about 10 o'clock. It might have been a bit late than that, 10:30, and she literally just threw the whole thing back. Well, she'd only had like 3 ounces and she just threw all that back. And then her breathing just started really, really bad. It just got really, really bad. We were just in the middle of doing a video for Xbug and she was just, her breathing just wasn't right then. So I managed to get her settled and it seemed to go okay. So I thought that I'd just monitor it for the next couple of hours rather than rushing straight to the hospital and then getting sent back home. I'd monitor it and see where it was going, like a couple of hours. Now she did manage to settle. She settled, she went back to bed and she was fine till about 3:45 this morning. And she got up, I thought she's just hungry, so I gave her a bottle as normal. I think she had about 3 ounces out of that bottle and then she just threw all that back as well. And it was mainly like congested with phlegm and stuff like that. So her breathing got really bad then, so I was just like, no, I'm not waiting any longer now. I'm just going to take her straight to the hospital and just get her checked out. Drive her be checked and be sent home, then just sit there, keep worrying and thinking, what should I do, what should I do? Because there's not very much you can do when they're this little. You can only give them Calpol from 2 months, so I'm glad she got it. I'm not glad she got it at all, but like, it's better that she got it after 8 weeks because she could, at least she could have Calpol. It would have been even harder to give her anything if it would have been before then. So anyway, when we came in, we got in about, I think we rang the ambulance about 4:15 this morning. I think by the time we got through everything, all the paperwork, and was that the triage, I think it is. It's not A&E, it's like the baby, or the emergency unit. But at the A&E, I don't understand it all. They've got A&E and they've got emergency and then they've got accident and emergency. I don't get it all. But anyway, we went into this little room where there's loads of other people. Obviously like on a bed and stuff. So we had to wait there and then they referred her to paediatric ward for babies and stuff. So, but before we came up here, I think it was like the proper paediatric doctor came down to have a look at her and she was like watching her breathing for ages and she was just like, I'm just not happy with her breathing whatsoever, because what she was doing was she was breathing in but holding her breath and then releasing it, and she was just doing that constantly. So that was one of the main concerns. Apart from that, they weren't really worried about anything else because like she's not got a temperature. That's one thing we just can't work out. She's not got a temperature and she's not had a temperature all the way through being poorly. But what she does do is she gets really cold hands and feet. So they're just looking, they've done some like tests to see whether there's any infections brewing somewhere else and that's maybe causing her to get cold. But apart from that, she's fine. She's on a feeding drip now, so she's just had, I think it's 100 mils or something like that, or 300, I don't know, one of these. I don't know how you work this out in mils, but anyway, that's, 55 mils in it. So she had like 1.5 then. But yeah, so this is where we are. We're staying here tonight. So, but I'd rather her be here being looked after than be sat at home worrying, like, if she was going to get worse and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, we're here. I've done crying because they were putting the drip down her nose, and it's just horrible to see it when your babies are so tiny. And yeah, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I've been so poorly myself. I haven't slept for like 6 nights solid. I think I've had about, in total this week, I bet I've had about an hour's sleep. And the rest of it I've just been coughing. And like literally coughing that bad that I've been being sick. So it's not been good. But hopefully she'll be on the mend later today. They keep draining, like clearing her nose with the other tube that they have that like sucks everything out, all the mucus and stuff like that. Just horrible, and it's just scary, isn't it, when your newborn baby comes in, because you don't know what to do. You can't talk to you, they can't tell you what's up with them. So it's literally like guessing all the time. And it's dead funny because the doctor was talking to upstairs and he's like, "You've got 11, you should know what you're doing now. You should be an expert, you should know what your kids have got." I was like, "Yeah, I'm an expert, but I'm not a doctor." Well, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert on parenting because every pregnancy, every child is different, and I'm still learning, even after 11. All kids get different illnesses or react to it in different ways, so not one child, will be the same to one of your other kids, not ever. I think that's why they say you never stop learning when you're a parent, because you just don't matter how many kids you have, it's still just as terrifying as the first time when your baby gets poorly. It's easier to manage, it's easier to know what it is, and it's easier not to get as worried as you normally would have done if it was like your first or your second. But it's still just as scary because, you could think it's one thing and then it could be something totally different. So you never want to sit there and go, "Oh, it's just a cold, it should be all right," and then the next minute your daughter or son's getting rushed in hospital and it's like, "Oh, well, it was blah, blah, blah." And it was like, "I knew I should have took her in," and then you kick yourself because you knew you should have done something. So I'd just rather be safe than sorry and just go in. Because I always feel like I'm wasting time. I know you're not wasting time because it's a newborn baby and the best place for them is the hospital, even if they're just being checked over. But you just, they're under so much stress, the NHS as it is at the minute. So I was trying to avoid coming into hospital if I felt that I could treat it at home. But no, she had other plans. So she's got some oxygen to help her breathe. I feel like an absolute tramp because I've literally gone to bed in this top, just got up, threw my jogging bottoms on, not even had a wash. I think I may have brushed my hair, I can't remember, I was half asleep. And I stink like a sewer rat. So I'm hoping that I can get washing a bit, get some food and just freshen up a little bit. But we're going to keep you updated through the day and we'll probably put some posts on Instagram. So yeah, just got to wait now. She's going to come back with, she took some acid from the stomach to test it. So she's going to see if there's any other bugs in her stomach, and she also took like the snot from it in her nose and saliva from the back of her throat. They're going to go and test that to see what bugs are in that and if if it's an infection or it needs treating with antibiotics or anything else. So I'm just going to snuggle her. I'm going to try and lie down now, see if she'll have a sleep for a bit. She's not slept since like 4 o'clock this morning. No. Just having cuddles, aren't we? Having cuddles. Woman baby cuddles. It's so peaceful in here, isn't it? Right? Our own little room, but I think we're in our own room because I've got a cough and obviously she's got a cough, and they'd only just done her COVID test. Obviously mine came back negative, but they still do one. Obviously mine came back negative, but they still do one on the baby just to make sure that she's not got it. Hopefully it's not that. Fingers crossed. But I'm sure we'll soon find out. But anyway, I'm going to go and drink my brew and then I'll check back in with you guys in a little while. There's not very much to vlog in here. So, I just want to, obviously... You can take that if you want.
I'll take that one.
Thank you. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, I'm going to go and drink my brew and then check back in with you guys. So we've managed to get her to settle for a little bit. It's all peaceful here. Bless her. So cute. So, this is baby girl. She's just having some oxygen. It's like warm oxygen, so it melts everything in her sinuses and breaks it all up and dampens it all again in case it's dried out while she's had a cough. Yes. Yes. She's so cute. Oh, poor baby. It's not fair, is it? Only this tiny and getting poorly. It's just doesn't seem right, does it, when they're so little? No. She's so cute. Our hands are freezing. We got here around 5 this morning. And her hands were cold then, and her feet. And they're still cold now. So she's got to stay on this. Doctor's going to come out and see her in a bit. See how she's getting on. And see whether she can go on later on or whether she's got to stay in tonight. So we'll keep you updated and let you know. Won't we? Give them little updates through the day. Yeah.